Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. Yesterday, we have started chapter 2, that is Principle of Management. And in the previous class, we have studied regarding nature and significance of Principle of Management, that how does the principle plays a vital role in the organization for establishment of the management activity for achieving the goal. Now, today, we will study the principle of management theory given by Henry Fayol. This is the person who has given the management principle. That's why Henry Fayol is known as the father of principles of management or general management. So, before starting or before studying the principle of management or the principles given by Henry Fayol, we will make a brief study about Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol was born on 1841 and he graduate he was graduate in engineering, and after getting the graduate degree he joined French mining company in 1860 as engineer, or we can say as work engineer. There he was working as the worker or as the mechanic. He was not any kind of the manager over there. He was simply working as the subordinates as the other people were working. But he started thinking about the smooth functioning of the business, smooth functioning of the job, so that each and every can be relaxed and the goal can be achieved within the given time period. And for this purpose, he started contributing some ideas in achieving the goals of the business. After giving some management principles or managerial decisions or managerial thinking for achieving the goal, Henry Fayol rose his position as the managing director in 1988 and in 1888, not in 1988. Here it is a mistake, it is 1888, and he remained in that business till 1940 14 and in 9, and he remained in the business till 1918, and he worked over there as the administrative and experienced a lot and given so many management principle for the betterment of the business, for the betterment of the organization and smooth functioning of the work. Being manager, Henry Fayol studied so many terms related to the working situation, working condition, related to authority and responsibility, direction and command. So he has given a number of terms related to that, but especially he has formed the principle of management, and he has given 14 terms related to this for smooth functioning of the business enterprise and achieving the goal, So in this principle, since he has given 14 principle for business enterprise for managing the term, so this principle is also known as, his given principle is also known as 14 principle of management, or 14 principle of management given by Henry Fayol. So now we should have to start the principles given by Henry Fayol. First principle given by Henry Fayol was division of work. Being a manager in the French mining company, he thought that division of work, it means tasks must be divided into small units so that the worker can, or the subordinates can perform it well, and the task must be given to those persons who are efficient, specialized, and who can contribute their energy in increasing the productivity of the business and with reducing the unnecessary wastage and movement. In the division of work, he focused on the segmentation of the work, and he focused on the specialization. It means the work should be given only to those people who are specialized in that particular work. It means those people who are skilled in those areas, they must have to fulfill that particular work. Suppose that in a cotton mill or cotton industries, there are so many people working there, but if the person who is not capable of making the thread, and if he is going to appointed for making the thread, then it will be a time consuming and it will not be effective for organizational goal. So tasks must be given, or suppose that if a complete task is given to one person, that to separate the seeds from the cotton and to make the thread, these all tasks are given to only one person, then it will become a tough task and it will become boring too, since it is time taking. That's why Henry Fayol suggested to divide the work in small units. Second is authority and responsibility. Authority means the power to take the decision, and responsibility means obligation to complete the job assigned on time. So many times it was seen that the people or the persons who are given some responsibilities, who had some responsibilities to fulfill the work, they don't have any kind of authority. But the Henry Fayol suggested that those people who are responsible for any job, those people who have any kind of obligation regarding completion of the job assigned on the time, they must have some authority to take decision, and to take decision for completion of the work on time. How they will execute it, how they will control it, how they will improve it, how they will contribute, how they will make the production effectively, let them to think. So while giving the responsibility, it is the duty of the seniors or the managers that if duties are going to be delegated or responsibilities are going to be delegated, there then authorities must be delegated to them, because without the authority, responsibilities have no use. Suppose that if the worker has asked to prepare to construct a building, but if he doesn't have the right to use the material in the required quantity according to the design, then how it can be possible to construct the building within the time? If each and every time, if he or she needs to take permission regarding using the material for construction of the building, it will be a time taking and it will be a wastage of time. And due to this wastage of time, it is quite impossible to construct the building within the given time period. So authority must be there. How they are going to mix the material, let them to think. If we have given some responsibility, let them to think that how they will contribute, how they will complete it. So authority must be given with the responsibility. So authority and responsibility should go hand in hand. Mere responsibility without authority makes an executive less interested in discharging his duties. Suppose that it is the same term that if we wind the hand and legs of the people and ask them or tell them to run or to skip or to jump, the same situation is there. If the responsibilities are given and authorities are not given to them, then it is quite impossible to perform the task. It will become less interesting, and the people will do the formality regarding fulfilling the duty. They will not be accountable or responsible for anything, because they will simply make the excuse that they were doing the job, but the terms are not in their hand, situations are not under their control. So the Henry Fayol given the theory regarding transfer of authority with responsibility. If we are giving some responsibility to anyone, we must authorize that people to take appropriate decision we must provide the power regarding completion of the job within the given time period. Next is discipline. As we know that it is the most important term of each and every organization, because if there is no discipline, there is no matter of job. If there is no discipline, there is nothing else. If there is no discipline, there is no existence or no identification of the organization. If there is no discipline, it is quite impossible to achieve the target or goal of the business. So discipline must be established in the organization, and for establishing the discipline, some rules and regulation must be implemented by the enterprise on their subordinates, so that they can clear their work, they can perform their work in a proper manner, in a proper channel. And for this, there must be a judicious approach, so that if any persons found by making if and wills, it will take appropriate decision to penalize them, so that the other people cannot think to disobey the terms, and it will help to create a disciplined environment in the business organization. So it is one of the most important principle of management given by Henry Fayol, that establishment of discipline must be establishment of discipline is mandatory in each and every organization. Next is unity of command. Unity of command means if there are so many managers and so many workers, and if the workers are engaged on same work, then the instruction, or they must be commanded by one person. They must not be commanded by more persons, more managers. We can clear it through this diagram. Here you can see one superior is there and one subordinate is there. It means if one subordinate or others or more than one subordinates are going to be controlled and commanded by one superior, they will be under the control of one superior. They will never violate any terms and conditions. They will never violate the instruction given by that particular superior, and it will be effective. But in second case, here you can see that three superiors are there, and three superiors are commanding one subordinates or a group of subordinate. Then it will create a kind of chaos, confusion among the subordinates regarding completion of the work, that which the instruction of which superior they have to follow. Because if they think to superior 1, then superior 2 and 3 will become annoyed, and if they think superior 2's instruction, superior 1 and 3, so it will create a complete chaos in the business organization, and ultimately it will create a nuisance in the business organization and indisciplined environment. So superiors, a group, one subordinate or a group of subordinate must be controlled by one superior, not by more than one superior. Next is unity of direction. As unity of command means command must be given by one, and unity of direction means direction must be given in one way. It means there must not be any kind of multiple direction given by one person or more than one person. It can be also observed by this figure that if unity of direction is there, all the people will follow the same direction, under the same command, they will follow the same direction and they will achieve the goal. But if direction will be different, here you can see few people are going ahead and few people are going in different direction and few people are going in different direction. Here going in different direction means working in different direction, approaching their work in different way. Then due to lack of unity of direction, it will create a kind of chaos in context of this one. So unity of direction must be established. Direction must be in a single way. There should not be any confusion regarding the direction. So dear students, I think now for today it is sufficient and clear. We will study the next management principle, rest the management principle given by Henry Fayol. Thank you.